Millennium County. I don't know why I laugh when I do these things. Anyway, it's been a couple of weeks since the last one. And I got a little bit done. I'm kind of dragging my butt a little bit here, but I got some things done. And I ran into some issues that I had to correct. My overhead bridge in front of me there against the wall is, it was too short, so I had to add on to it, which wasn't that big of a deal. I just had to drag the printer back out again and print some new pieces up and built another section. I also finished, well, not really finished, but I got a lot farther on my crossover. So that's looking pretty good so far. Other than that, I really haven't done much. Well, that's not true. I got a lot done, but just little things here and there, nothing major. So, without any further ado, I'm going to point out some of the things we're done so we can wrap this segment up and move on to the next one in a few days. So, let me get up, reposition the camera, and I'll show you what's going on. Alrighty. There we go. That's the second part of the overhead assembly. It's curved because, well, in order to meet up with the pass-through, that was the only way to do it. So I'm getting ready to, as soon as I finish printing some extra guardrails, I'm going to put that in place and get it locked down. So, of course, the other one's pretty much, I got all kinds of stuff all over the place here. It's a mess, I tell you, a big mess. I did lay in some turnouts and some of these track here. Tilt down in there. Now there we go. I wound up only going with 4 turnouts because I really didn't have room for the 8 like I initially thought. But they'll work alright, and I'm going to have, back this way, a drop-in table that'll actually bring these areas out so I could put some industry in there and I can lift it out in case I have to get back closer to the track back there. So this way that'll solve that issue. I'll have to build that yet. I haven't gotten around to it. But let's see, there's the overhead, no, there's the printer. It's printing guardrails. And let me move the camera here a little bit. Okay, now over there is my pass-through. And it actually came out much better than I thought it would. Up there. I'll lock that in. And there it is, so that when I'm in the room and I'm running the trains, we'll have the endless loop. Now, I don't have the track laid on there yet, and I still got to build like a ridge on that back. That's what the pink part is over there. I'm going to build a ridge so it matches the one to the right, which you probably can't see too well. And then the overhead thing comes around and meets up with it. So I've got a lot more work to do on that. That'll probably be the next segment. We'll show where what it's going to look like. What else have I done? Other than making a big mess, not much. I haven't really been able to do a whole lot. Printer's printing out. a handrail. I built a lot of those. Let's see what else. Actually, that's about it. I did get some stuff in that I ordered. And I'm going to show you some of it here. I got this stuff here. This is a weathering kit. And it's kind of like women's makeup a little bit. You brush it, you dust it on the things that give it that aged look or worn out look. I haven't really experimented with it yet, but I will. It's going to be a handy thing, and eventually I'll do train cars with it and everything. But I think initially I'm going to try and use it on maybe some of my girder bridges and other areas that I want to look like they're old or worn out. I've got, I finished all my track over here. Oops. And it's all, let's see, can you see any of it? Not really. Where's that upside down? Oh, there we go. I hope that doesn't come upside down. But anyway, I finished all the track over here. You can't really see it. The switches are in. I've got all the wiring. And I just built 10 of these. I've got to get like 19 more. They're actually little circuit dealies that the switches, and they'll be in a panel. So when you switch over to throw the track to switch from left to right or main line to siding, it'll do that for just a split second to change it, but it'll hold the LED indicator lights on. These were very important because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to do it. So I bought these from Canada. I hunted down the guy who makes them himself. It was $64 for 10 of them, and you have to build them yourself. So I still got more soldering to do when I get my LEDs and the input wires from the switches. And I've got to design panels yet, which I'll be doing shortly. But anyway, this is going to make life so much easier for the switching. Other than that, well, not really much else going on. Like I said, it's been kind of slow. I've got so many things I've got to do all the time that, I can't always devote my full attention to this, but I try and do a little bit every day. So, with that said, I'm going to sign off for now, and we'll have another installment as soon as I get a little further probably with the pass-through. So stay tuned, be back soon. And where's my little remote here, turn it off. And do we turn it off? Alright, we're back again. And I got a few things done. I don't know if you can really see this too well. Well, anyway, it's that part of the layout. I guttered this all the way down there. And I'm going to make like I guess like a stream. I use the plaster cloth, and it worked out pretty good for that. So I have to paint it yet. I don't know when I'll get to it, but soon. I have to repaint the black. That's supposed to be a highway, but I'll be getting to that soon enough. Meanwhile, the place is a bigger mess than it ever was. I start over here. Keep stepping on something over here. I went ahead and did the blueprints for the turnout control panels, and these are just mock-ups, but they're going to look like this, except they'll actually be a case, but right now this is just paper. But this one here is for the staging area, which is of course up here. The staging area will have 6 lanes, which is more than sufficient at the moment. So that's that. Hopefully that'll get done soon. And then down here I've got the northern district, because actually this side of the house is facing north. And I couldn't come up with any other name, so I figured why not? We'll just call it the northern district. And the lines represent the, well, I'm shaky today, represent the tracks. And like the X there is actually a double turnout. So anyway, well, that looked pretty good. And then I've got another one over here. And this, of course, is the South District. Since, you know, that's south. And then, of course, I'll have to build, well, I ran out of ink in my printer, the toner. I have to buy another toner cartridge. That's like $100. But at least I'll have a lot more toner than what it came with, because that was a starter cartridge on my laser printer. But anyway, I got to build another one for this mess here with these 4 turnouts. I started laying track over here. It's drying at the moment, and I've got weight on them. So, and then eventually I'll raise the pass-through up and then cut the track once I get it firmly attached to both sides, so that it'll line up when it's in position. And what else? Well, like I said, everything's just kind of a big, really, really big mess right now. But hey, you know, actually set up some of my train cars just so they're not laying all over the place. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to, I'd say within the next week or two, I'm going to start wiring up the track so I'll actually be able to operate the trains, because I need to test the tracks anyway before I do any kind of ballast work on them, or possibly I might even age the rails. That's kind of a big ordeal, but it'll make it look so much more realistic. So anyway, that's where we're at. Oh, and then I cut back this ridge here so I'd have room for the highway, and there'll actually be a highway overpass right there, because that's going to be a lake. So I've got to paint that too. And I've got to order some culverts so it'll make it look like this stream or river, whatever you want to call it. I'll go off that way, maybe I could put another one on this side so it'll look like it'll connect to the lake. And I'll probably put one on this side too, just because. And there's just so many things I want to do, and there's so much work that needs to be done. So anyway, I'm going to end this episode with this, because I'm trying to keep these things like under 15 minutes. And I think I'm right about 15 minutes as we speak. So that'll be it for now, and then stay tuned and look out for episode 8 of Millennium County. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.